late. I'm actually late this time. I'm like, oh, me. Hello, everybody. How's it going? I'm a little late. Sorry about that. It has been a weird day. It's been a weird week. I don't really know what to say about all that. I think I said on Monday. Wasn't it Monday? I pulled messages and I said it may be a bumpy ride this week. Well, it was weird. This is a weird week. And it's over. And I'm here. And I'm tired, but I'm here. How's everybody doing? Yeah, I don't know. The energy's weird. I've had some weird things happening, and I'm not quite sure what to do with them all yet. So that's where I'm at. That's what my experience was. I was all excited it was Friday, and then right at the last minute, it was just these interesting feelings, let's just say. So I'm riding that wave, trying to not read into it too much at once. Good. I'm glad you're doing well. Good. Awesome. Good. I'm doing well. Cool. Yeah. I'm doing good. I don't know. Like I said, it's been really weird. I've had a better week. It hasn't been horrible necessarily. It's just weird. That's the best thing I can say. I know. Amy, yeah. So Amy H says she can't wait for Sunday. Chest tightness, energy is high. That's interesting. You said chest. I had some weird things going on recently too. And let me tell you something. Lately, I started going to a new place when I meditate. So if any of you have watched my videos, a lot of you that are on here usually do know who I am and have experienced the things that I do and go through. But I meditate not enough lately, to be honest with you. But when I do, I go places. Obviously, that's how all this stuff happened through me and with me over this time period. Always happens in meditation. But I've been going to this new waterfall, and I don't know where it is. I can't tell. It does have like an Atlantis, Lemurian type feel, and I can't quite put my finger on what it is. And it only looks like it's like half created. So all I can see is this beautiful, most magnificent blue I've never seen waterfall. It's a waterfall. There's been something about waterfalls. That's why I want to go to this certain place very soon, as soon as I can, and visit all of these waterfalls. Something about waterfalls. So I've been going to this waterfall. Then while I'm there, I keep getting told aquamarine. Aquamarine. I'm like, oh shit, I don't own any aquamarine. That's like the one thing I don't have. So I got, ta-da! I'm happy. I'm excited. I got an aquamarine tree. I've always wanted one of these trees, and I've never found one I wanted. This one I actually truly like. It's got a really cool base, and it's just super cool. So I'm really excited about it. So I'm going to see where this thing takes me. I don't know why I needed aquamarine so bad, but I kid you not, that's what I keep hearing. Aquamarine. And I'm like, okay. I get it. I get the message. Aw, that's good, Gigi. She was outside quite a while today. You know, the weather, that's interesting you talk about the weather. The weather's been a talk around here too because it's not our normal. I mean, our normal here can be weird. The saying goes, where I'm at, if you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes. We have a little everything here. But it's been not its normal. We've been getting quite a bit of moisture, quite a bit of rain, and we're only in May. We've had rain, snow, sunshine all in 1 week. You know, we're getting every season, just about every other day. It's kind of cool. So the weather around here is just different. Like 1 minute it's beautiful, blue skies, sunny, warm. Next, it's like a story. It's pretty cool. I'm enjoying it. It's definitely different. It's like a whole new world, right? So, right? Isn't it a pretty tree? Thanks, Tanita. Yeah. So, let's just say I need to recharge. I definitely need to check in. I'm thinking a nice salt bath might be good before Sunday. We'll see what happens today. I don't know. I always claim I'm going to do certain things, and then what happens? It's like Spirit says, homie, don't play like that. Like, no, it's what you expected. Just kidding. Whatever. And then some people unfollowed my channel, and something's going on, and I'm not quite sure what. And so that's happening. Yeah, I don't know. A little bit of weirdness in the air. So we're going to see where that takes us. I don't know. Oh, I did see this one thing. So I was going to want to come on Zoom again because I saw this video about an hour or two ago. Briefly, I wanted to watch it again because I wasn't quite sure what some of it said. But it made sense. Remember, I did something with the sun, my last workshop, right? Is that what it was? The last workshop I did, we did something with the sun, right? A whole bunch of things. Gosh, I'm like, really, Bree? Don't remember your last workshop? No, right now, I really don't. It's like the last thing on my mind. I've got kiddos on my mind. I've got clients as well. So it's like so many things. And behavioral plans I'm running through my head 24/7 anymore lately. That's neither here nor there. So it's a struggle. The struggle is real. So yeah, we did something with the sun, and then I saw this video, and it was this guy, this interesting guy that I've never seen before, never noticed before. Again, things just show up for me as I need them. So it definitely stood out. So I will post a link to it. Kiddo's coughing, so I'm just making sure it was nothing serious. I will post a link to it under the video in case you want to watch it for yourself. But I'll talk a little bit about what he said because it was very interesting to me and it resonated with me quite a bit. So we've been talking so much, so much. You see it all over the place about the darkness, right? The 3 days of darkness. There was a time where I talked about be prepared for darkness, but what I meant is for crazy things happening, like electricity maybe going down, like if the whole system were to fall, what parts were corrupt? And that's where you need to look at, right? The possibilities of things changing, right? So that's my purpose there. But then they talk about this 3 days of darkness, and I never quite understood it because I don't resonate with it. Now I know why. Now it makes a lot of sense to me. So this guy channeled Archangel Michael. And I wish I could have done Zoom because I would have shown you some of it. It was very interesting. And I need to watch it again because there was a part of it I'm like, what? I got to wait till 2100. I don't know if I won't be here. But yeah, they talk about instead of 3 days of darkness, because we've switched timelines because of what I've done, right? I've said before, a lot of things I do seem really crazy and very biblical. Wasn't anything I expected. You're talking pyramids. I activated and raised Atlantis. Look at all my videos. It's crazy. I can't deny it. I have proof. I have people that were there. All kinds of things. And then now the sun. It came the sun. And now they're talking about because we're always wondering what's going to happen, right? And then the whole earthquake thing, that shit's scary, and I didn't expect that. And it's like, no, thank you. Really? It's weird. Everything's weird. And I said, pay attention to the sun. And I saw another one today that said the sun is big. And I'm like, see, I told you. So I was going to show that too. But this guy channels Archangel Michael. And he talks about the timeline split, like I talk about all the time in the workshops I did and things of that nature and the healings that we do. And everybody talks about those. It was on a path of 3 days of darkness. So that's what he talks about. That's what channeled through Michael talks about. The 3 days of darkness is no longer going to happen, is what he says. It's now 3 days of light. Okay. And just like the last video I shared with you guys about the proof of the sun, he talks about like a solar, sorry, I'm hearing things in these apartments. So if you hear strange things, never you mind. It's just entertainment purposes only. But he talks about 3 days of, what did he say? 3 days of light or something like that, like the sun, the solar flash. Solar flash, that's what it was. So I'm putting this all together and I'm like, well, okay. So it's no longer like that 3 days of dark. This guy says we switched timelines, which is supposed to be Archangel Michael. And it's now the 3 days of light. So we're on a positive timeline. Okay. And I've said to you guys many, many, many times that we're creating our reality by what we're thinking, what we're focusing on, and so on. And that's what he talks about. And he talks about the fact that we're now on the positive timeline and it will be like a solar flare. It'll be like 3 days of light with the sun. It was very interesting. So I'll post the link so you guys can watch it. And then he also talked about within that, it's going to be to where we're all now light beings and the dark ones can't survive on the planet anymore. And I've mentioned that a few times, is that when I raised the planet, when I moved it those last few times, I had specifically said lower vibrations can no longer be housed here. However, he mentions by 2100, they will all be eradicated from the earth. I'm like, that's a long ass damn time. And the only reason I got frustrated was today at work, they are trying to discriminate against the non-vaccinated now. So now we're the only ones who have to wear masks, right? That's the new CDC recommendation. And I'm like, you gotta be damn kidding me. I was frustrated this morning. I'm like, oh, hail to the no. I was like, I'm going to proudly wear my mask for the first time through this whole goddamn pandemic. Fake demic. Maybe people are getting sick, yes. But people have to wake up. They have never, ever pushed anything. Okay, this vaccine hasn't even been around long enough to see the long-term side effects, yet you're all of a sudden cured from it. Okay, if they can cure you from that, why couldn't they cure you from the flu? There's just so many things. I'm like, why aren't people questioning more? Okay, let's take it out of the spiritual realm. Let's pretend I'm not a master healer and I don't know all the stuff that I know. I'm going to think logically as a human being because I work around a bunch of them in a psychology field. And I'm just like, something's amiss. Something's completely amiss to me. Okay, let's say this vaccine had been around maybe 20 years and they know beyond a definitive case that it's a cure. Has it been? No. Mm-mm. According to public eye, according to everything, it just came out. Something's amiss. And now I'm being discriminated against, right? It's like, I'm not allowed to tell you, oh my God, you got vaccinated. I'm going to pray for you. Or do you need a healing? And people will look at me and go, that's my choice, right? Okay. Being in the medical field, does a vaccine cure you from anything? Not necessarily so. There's still always that chance, right? It's just the weirdest thing. But now all of a sudden, if you're completely vaccinated, what is it, both vaccines, and you have your card, then you can walk around without a mask on. So now they're targeting the individuals who haven't gotten vaccinated. So they're turning the tables, right? Turning you against each other. Made me sick to my stomach. And I'm like, well, now that's a double-ass damn standard right there. like this is very interesting to me. But the cool thing was, you guys, I got to work and I didn't say anything. We got a survey. So they didn't make a decision. They're like, we want to do what's best for our company. I'm like, all right, cool. I like this company a little more each day. And I took the damn survey and I told them straight up just what I told you. I'm like, not vaccinated, discrimination. Not that I don't want them not wearing masks. Everybody should be not wearing masks, right? That's my point. Honestly, when you get a vaccine, you're shedding it. You're more contagious for about 2 weeks after you get it. Why are they not talking about that? Now my mind's blown. I'm like, do I want to just be sheltered anymore? I'm going to go back to not working. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's some crazy shit what they're doing. My stomach's just in knots. And then another experience I had today on top of that. It's like, if somebody tries to push me or control me or get mad at me because I don't respond in the time they wish me to do so, stop. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can do the best that I can do. I'm one person and I already allow people deep into my space. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a healer. So all I can say is I love you, but I love you. You know what I'm saying? So it's been an interesting... The mRNA is an operating system. Look on... What are you talking about? May I have a reading, please? And I don't worry when you have time. You worked with the sun. Yes, I did work with the sun. Okay, wait. What do you mean, Amy? The mRNA is an operating system. Look on Moderna website. What does that mean? Am I wrong about? What does that mean? The jab. You mean the dab? No, I was kidding. That was stupid. The jab? It's like the shot? Like, what are y'all talking about? I'm confused. And that was just part of my week, by the way. There was way more bumps along the way. Can I ask you guys of something? I just don't know if I did the right thing. So I got put in an in-home, okay? And in the in-home, there's about 12 cats, and I didn't know they were going to be there. Okay, cool. Yes, Amy, I know. Okay, so it does screw the DNA and everything else. I'm just like, what is mRNA? So I don't know all that. I don't care to know all that stuff, and I won't go on the websites and stuff, so I wasn't quite sure what you were meaning. But yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It's an operating system. It's not... It doesn't make any sense. But the thing that's getting me is like nobody questions anything. I haven't seen... I mean, I do see. You can see the people who are. You can see there's more of me out there. They're actually complaining at work. They're offering people $50 bonuses to get vaccinated because only 13% have gotten vaccinated. And I'm like... And they're complaining. They're like, Colorado is the state where most people are not vaccinated. I'm like, whoa, wow, really? Let's go, Colorado. You know, I'm like, hey, maybe we're more awake than I thought we were. You know, there's a lot of military here and things. And so you never know. It could go both ways. Colorado's a little bit of everything too, right? And it's definitely changed over the years since it became all about the legalizations of things and all of that, you know, which I'm all about for medical, especially as a healer. It's come through, you guys. THC and CBD have come through for healing. Absolutely, very much so. So it's not that that's necessarily a bad thing. It's just changed a lot, right? It brought a lot of people here to our state, which used to be not so compact. It's always been a little dirty, just like everywhere you go, you can find dirty spots, but it's just great. I'm surprised. And they're complaining. They're like all upset about it. And I'm like, yeah. So I don't know. It's really crazy. I'm standing up for my rights. Like, is this why I had to go back? Like, what is going on here? Because like the way this job came about, the way it came about going back into my old career, because I had shifted upon waking up, all of these things happened. It's like my whole timeline changed. I talk about it through my videos. All of a sudden, I wasn't working anymore, and Spirit put the message through in odd ways, crazy ways, sometimes frustrating ways, because I don't listen. I'm a Leo, and I'm stubborn, and I would be like, what? Screw you. And then so they would break my toe. And then I would have to listen. And they would tell me, calm down, focus. Because I was going through my awakening. You guys, when you find out everything that I went through and you read it all through and through, it's going to be like, what the hell? It's crazy. It's crazy. But it's definitely a journey in learning to all of the sudden learn through Spirit in a whole new way. It's like a whole new school of life. It's pretty cool to have an awakening like that. But anyways, what I was talking about, the sun, I don't know, all that kind of stuff. The darkness will be eliminated. I've said that before as we raise the vibration. But he also talks about, again, is that people have tended to focus on the negatives, okay? I will let you know that I got scared by the earthquakes. I didn't know those damn things were going to happen, and it lines right up with what I did. And I was scared to do what I did, and I didn't know why. For all of you that know me and that were following me, I blew out my solar plexus before I activated the final pyramids. They tried to stop myself. They took a break. I fixed it. Then we had that 8.1 within hours of the last pyramid that I activated. I kid you not. They all lined up all over the timeline. You can look at everything. Everything is recorded. It's crazy. So yeah, the earthquake scared me. But what this guy says through Archangel Michael is that what I've said before, it's like, let's focus on the higher timeline. So what do we want to happen, right? Like, let's do that. And so I challenge everybody to start creating from, so what it is, it's like, imagine your blank slate. Let's paint the sky. And I remember saying this on my Facebook page, which I don't participate in anymore. At one point through one of my channel thingies, or somewhere I did, I don't remember where, everything just would come through. It's like, let's paint with new colors. Let's start like a fresh canvas. Just start painting your reality from a fresh canvas. Masks are going away. Screw this shit. Like, they're not going to sit here and, like, this is not, is that a high timeline? Hail to the no. So something's awry, right? So let's fix it. Let's create this reality. So I challenge my family, those of you that are my family, that are not unfollowing me. Whoever did that, I don't know. Whatever. See, Amy? That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. This is what's crazy. And this is why, see, I didn't put my kids into homeschool thinking about it. It's like I was actually, Spirit had pushed for that right before all this happened. My daughter had this. I'm pretty sure she did. There is something going around. There was something going around. It was like December of that year. She got sick. You know, it's funny. It's the school gave me a hard time for keeping her home for the week. Well, the doctor says she had a fever all week, right? And I took care of her, and she did all right, right? She was fine. None of us, other of us got it, and all the doctors said it was an unknown virus. She did fine. She pulled out of it. Okay. And it's like, where was I going with that? I don't remember. I don't know. It's just it's frustrating to me what's going on. It's very frustrating. And the schools. And so when that happened, Spirit told me homeschool. And I remember even posting about it. Like, I don't know if I should. I remember talking to somebody I know about it. Like, because my daughter was well advanced. She was going for gifted and talented. She's well advanced in school. She loves school. Just loves it. My son, on the other hand, he struggles, my middle. But my daughter loves it. And so I struggled with taking them out. And now, even in online school, the teachers are pushing the vaccine. Everywhere you go, they're pushing that vaccine. Everywhere you go, they're pushing that vaccine. I've never been so against a vaccine in my life. And if you watch my video on here, I don't know if it says anything about it or not. And warning for what's to come. They talk about the Bill of Rights. I talk about these things that were coming. I've talked about before that I was supposed to do something with a vaccine. I've talked about it. It might be on my Facebook page now that I'm looking back. It's been a while. I told you, it's like, this was kind of like, don't take that vaccine. And it hadn't come out yet. Okay, and so that's another thing. It's like, if y'all don't, I predict the future. I don't predict the past. I don't tell you things that have happened yet. I tell you what's coming. And again, our timeline is different than spiritual timeline. And so the things I said over a year ago have happened and are happening. And it's like, oh, shit, right? And then things in my workshops, like, oh, when it would happen, I was like, oh, my God, that really happened. It wasn't just energetic. Like, stuff's crazy. Yeah. See, Donita says, I remember you saying all those things. She's gone through pretty much all my workshops. Why does anybody need it? Nobody needs that vaccine. Nobody needs that vaccine at all. It's weird. It's not even like, it doesn't make sense to me why people would think this is kosher. It's not kosher. It has nothing. It did not even play along like a normal quote unquote vaccine that they've put out in the past, right? Whatever. You could say, where's common sense? How do you have common sense if the whole cult thing is real, right? People are really brainwashed. They would call them sheeple. I honestly don't like that. I feel like that's an insult. So to see all these light workers calling people sheeple would bother me. But it is weird to see it, though, isn't it? It's like almost when all those cows would face a certain way towards the moon pole. Or you'd see people dancing under the moon. I never quite understood that one. No, I'll dance in the rain. But I never had the urge to dance under the moon. I'll sit in the hot tub under the moon, dance anywhere, right? There's just that whole thing with it. It was just a weird connection. Strange times, strange days. So let's just think of, okay, it's happening. What else is happening? I don't know. I'm not happy with what's happening. So I'm going to start thinking of a new timeline, right? Just like I've said before. It's like spirits ask me why I don't listen to my own self. I don't know. There's days where I'm like, who the hell am I? Like, did I really do that? Maybe I need to do another psych eval. Like, I've done this. You guys have been in the psych field. Like, I was never, if you're listening to any of my videos, I was not into this side of it. I was born into a family who does things like that. My grandmother was a tarot card reader. My mother would do it, but she also did other things, and I didn't want to relate with that. So I associated it with bad things. Seriously. And now here I am, right? It's like, it's weird. And so they're positive thoughts, but I still question myself. Like, wouldn't you, if you in one of your workshops moved a planet and you're like, I bet you the North and South Pole are not the same anymore. And then all of a sudden, was it 6 months later, you get proof of that? Like, wouldn't you be like, how do you fathom that? It's still hard for me. And then I see people unfollow the channel and things of that nature. And I question today, I'm like, why do I do it? Where's my joy in it? Maybe I got to find that and just run with it. And who cares about anything else? I don't know. I'm here because I'm here. Where it goes next is to be seen. It's neither here nor there, right? Because everything was structured. Everything was do this, do this, do this. And now I'm like, I don't know what to do. So I started thinking of a couple things. Remember I told you guys there's a modality coming through? Well, I got a little bit of a insight into it, but I'm not sure I'm quite ready to put it all together yet. So there's that still coming. So yes, Gigi, I challenge us all. Let's just start creating our reality every day. A fresh palette of paint our reality to what we want it to be. Imagine people walking around without their damn masks on. Imagine those exposures have occurred. It's just done. I'm tired of these separations. I can't live like this anymore. I don't want to live like that anymore. Who does? It was always bad before from the illusions of separation that they would place, right? When in reality, 90% of people didn't really live that way, if you pay attention to that. But it's like now, it's really at the pit of your core, right? And that's true darkness. That's true darkness. And you can look at relationships that way too. It's like they do that to each other in those a lot. Like, I'm just going to manipulate you. I'm going to use your light against you to make you do what I want. That's what they're doing. And they're making people hate each other over this vaccine now. We went from... Lord, help us all. So what they say in that video with Archangel Michael is that everybody's focusing on the end of days. And I've said plenty of times we don't want to do that, right? So let's stop focusing on the earthquakes and the volcanoes. I mean, I'm not sure we can make them. Who knows what we can do, right? Who knows? Let's paint our reality the way we want it. Whatever it is, No more masks. If we're supposed to manifest that, let's manifest the world that way, right? And if we're all doing it, then we create the reality. Like that guy says, light warriors. And then sometimes he still talks about the 3 days of darkness. So let's rise it up a notch, right? Jacinth says it does feel surreal at times, what I've done and what I talk about. To me too, sunshine. But she's been a witness to most and what I've done so far. And she's a believer. Thank you, Jacinth. I need to hear that sometimes because I don't even believe. Like, it's nuts. Even the moon video. And I don't listen to all my videos back. I don't know about you guys, but it's like watching yourself and listening to yourself. Like, even now I can see myself on the monitor. And I'm like, right? That's funny. It's weird. It's pretty strange to think about it. Oh, and there was another satellite that went down. Did you guys hear about that one? Where was that one? China? Some big thing with China. Did my camera just move or was that just me? Okay, so I'm not kidding you. I think something's in my house. The other day, the stove turned on twice. Not once, but twice. It's electric. Thank God it's not gas. But to see the light on my stove all of a sudden on, and it's just slightly, just slightly to where the burner will get hot. And if my daughter were to put something on there or touch it, oh my God. Like, it happened twice. It was weird. I'm just kind of shaking it off. Yeah, I'm connected, but I don't always care to. You know what I'm saying? I kind of like the mystery. So I'm like, the things that make you go, And just sitting here now, I just kind of saw something. I don't know. It's moving? How weird. Okay. Alrighty then. By golly gee gosh. Let's just ride this wave of rising into the ascension of a higher timeline. And it is true what I have said, that the darkness cannot be housed here. How long it takes for it to go, nobody knows. It may not be fully in our lifetime, right? I don't know. Who knows what to believe half the time? All I know is, like I've said before, the last thing we need to focus on is the bad things. So let me see if there's a little bit of a channeled message, because these may be part of it. I don't know. These were just my topics for what's in my air for this day and this shitty week that is now done. Feels like, whatever. Maybe I need Sunday too. Maybe I'll just do some healing with this new aquamarine pretty tree thingy of mine. It's got a good vibe. I'm liking it. I can feel it in here. I've been pretty emotional in my throat. I don't know what's up with that. I can definitely feel it. So we'll see where this one takes me. Camera's just refocusing. Okay, it might just be me. Might just be me just seeing funky because I'm tired. Right? Not everything is whoop whoop. Not everything is weird. But I kid you not, there's a couple videos on here where there's some orbs. You guys, I have watched back on a couple of them. I'm like, there was an orb. Hi, everybody. That's pretty weird. I've watched them a couple times and there's been orbs. But then there's other ones where you can see it's dust. Like, you can totally tell. It's pretty cool if you can see those kinds of things. Not everything is that, right? It's like I don't know. Crazy. But the alien thing is happening. So that's definitely happening. And I said that before too. I think Ashtar came through with a message of that too. Look to the sky. Remember, that was quite a while ago. And I think that was on Facebook too, when I channeled that first message from Ashtar. And he's like, look to the sky. Things are coming. And I'm like, it may not be aliens. And lucky here we are. And of course, I've seen aliens. I've known they were coming. Shit is real, home slice. It is real. It is absolutely real. You know, it's really hard is when you go into reality and you can hear people's thoughts and you can feel their feelings and they're so disconnected and you can't tell. It's like I try to deal with those situations and everybody's like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Trust me. I could feel it right here and I could feel it right here. And sometimes it's like up in here and you're like all this and that. And they're like, I don't know. You're like, it's like so awkward. It doesn't work so well. It's frustrating. I can't wait till more people wake up. But that's what they're saying is happening. And I've said that. There's these, remember the other day I was like channeling about that energy influx? So that's one thing they talk about with the solar flare, the orange sky. So I don't know if it had to do with that, like the sky being illuminated and things of that nature. I don't know if that's what it's talking about in that vision that I saw the other day. It could be. I'm kind of leaning more towards that now that I'm feeling into it a little bit more. Also, that night right after I talked about it, we were in the midst of a huge energetic storm influx as well. And so I thought that was pretty cool. I'm like, well, that's cool. Right? More validations to what I said. So let's just see if there's a message for the collective other than what I've already talked about. I think that's a really important message is, okay, yeah, so I'm hearing look to the sun. Don't look at the sun. Please don't look at the sun. So don't take that as look at the sun. Go outside and look at the sun. But I'm hearing look to the sun for answers. So does that mean that, yeah, I mean, that would explain everything that I've already said. So we'll go with that. Adjustments are on the horizon. And it's like, okay, well, we keep hearing that. So I'm just going to start focusing elsewhere. But that's really the key feature, right? Keep painting it. Just keep thinking about, this is my reality. I'm going to keep going to that waterfall because I want to be around waterfalls, not around these apartments that I'm in. Schumann resonance has been really high. So that's what he talks about too, is how the one timeline was the 3 days of darkness where we shifted into a dark reality. It's like going into hell on earth, I suppose you could say. And then the other one is shifting into light reality, which all the work I did, I kept pointing towards that. And now we're ending. I don't even know what's ending. I don't want to say it's ending. Everything, I think I'm done. Something else comes up. And then I take out the moon. And then I change the sun. I don't know if we're done or if I'm done. It's just weird. So now we're going into the higher timeline with the light, where it's like heaven on earth. As above, so below. Just like I said in that one video I did a little over a year ago now, or right about a year ago. As above, so below. That's what I brought. So that's the timeline we've shifted into, and so it's light instead of darkness. Okay. So any ones that you see focusing on the end of days or the 3 days of darkness, let's just send vibrations up, right? Like, let's raise those. Let's just raise them. You don't have to use this. Let's stop using this. Well, if you don't do this, you're this. Well, I'm going to do this and I'm that. Well, what is this? Well, this is going to happen today and this is going to happen today. Let's just shut. What if we did 3 days of silence? You think we could get everybody to join in on that one and just listen to waterfalls? I'm so down with that. Sorry about that. It's just true though, right? Like pay it. Everybody's like, I watch all these people and I'm like, what about me? Do I need to change? Why do people not follow? And I'm like, I just can't fake energy to manipulate an energy of a collective to get that wave going. And it's not who I am. I can only be, so I'm struggling with this reality. I know what it is to get it. I know how to do it. I'm just like, it's not who I am. And I struggled with this. And it's like, why can't everybody just shut up? Just for a little while. Stop talking about it. Like, can we just stop talking about everything? Can we just stop focusing on it? And for 3 days, sit in the reality where that shit is done. Like, as many people as we can. For 3 days. And I'm getting teary-eyed, you guys, because it's affecting kids. It's affecting parents. It's affecting grandparents. People have died, although I don't think in the numbers they say. You have to live under a rock to not be affected by the world that we're living in. And it's really hard. And as I'm saying this, I see the shape of a heart in the tree outside. That's really cool. But it's really hard to stay in the positive, isn't it? Families, relationships, right? What if you got a husband and wife where one wants to get vaccinated and the other doesn't, and it becomes like this huge moral issue? Like, I wouldn't doubt it. You have schools that I've talked about like forever ago that passed a law, and there's certain states, pay attention, and they aren't telling you, but they can vaccinate your kids 10 and over or 11 and over without your permission. I'm going to grab some tissue, sorry. Sorry about that. How embarrassing. Oh, thanks, Jason. That's exactly what it is. I take on a lot in a day, you guys, and I work with kiddos who are full of emotions, but they can't express them with words, right? And I feel like I take some of that in too. It's just rough. It's just rough, right? It's rough. And what do? I help people all over. It's just not easy. And I will, for once, through this whole thing, wear my mask with pride now. Mm-hmm. For sure. I do, Gigi. I always have. I always have. Doesn't matter what it is. And it's honestly allowed people to take some of my power away. And I will be taking that back. So, if we got to do a push and pull, that's what I'll do. Just kidding. So yeah, it was unexpected, but you know what? Maybe it needed to be brought up and brought out. Sometimes, don't you wish everybody would just shut up about it, you guys? Like, be honest. All the light workers. It got quiet for a minute with a couple of them. Angry Catfish guy shut down for a couple weeks, and I thought about it. Maybe somehow my channel got messed with. Maybe people aren't really unfollowing me. And I'm like, yeah, right. It's just, it would be nice if all we talked about for just 3 days was what a beautiful planet we had, and how all the families are back together, and how we're free. We are free. That'd be nice. I think that's because you still hear it. All these light workers talking about the darkness or this and that and the other. Let's just stop. Maybe it's just me. Right, Gigi? I think that would be lovely too. And then nightlight fell out. Let's just go night-night for a little while. Good night. Stop talking about all this stuff. Live in happiness. Our kids are safe. We don't have to worry about this weird thing they want us all to force into our bodies. Right? It would be lovely. We're just free. The lies have been seen. We don't have to pay taxes anymore. When that freedom comes, Not sure why you guys are talking about that, but okay. Anywho, so that's kind of what's really coming up. That's part of the message. It really, truly is. It's like there's so much sorrow coming on. There's so much negative focus. Again, so much fear. Just redirect it. So let's change it. Let's make it positive. Let's change that vibe. Let's start. Right? So Sunday will be a nice, beautiful healing, chakra opening, alignment, vibrational raise, whatever we want to come through that day. We'll leave it open, and we will leave it open for all to receive that's going to receive. And of course, I will take it further for my patrons. All I have to do is set that intention. And we all know Spirit's really good at running through me. So, and then of course, apparently I do things too. I got to remember that. Friendship. That's what I'm talking about. Go make a new friend. Let's start challenging each other. I challenge you to make a new friend and an unexpected friend. So not your normal friend. I challenge you. Nobody ever does my challenges, and I don't know why. I started them when I first came out. You can call it coming out of the closet, the spiritual closet. I came out of a closet, the one of awakening. Like, oh, the light's on. I opened the door, which was always open, really. So that doesn't really make sense for me. But the challenge, just make a new friend and make an unexpected friend, one that you would normally shy away from. Shake it off. That's right. I've been up too late. So, nothing in my brain. Ooh, I don't even know that song anymore. And that's what people say. Is that the right song? Shake it off. Ooh. I never miss a beat. I'm getting it. It's starting to come. Wrong tone. That's okay. All right. Free. You guys, I pulled this last time. I keep pulling this card. And I talked about it again. Right? Yep, that's it. Oh, Gigi! I didn't even think about that. So on one of the last healings, I told you, I don't know these. I know you, like you've been to my workshops, but I don't know crap about you, really. I forgot we did a healing on your eye. I don't even remember all of it, but I do kind of know. You mentioned it. It's on one of the videos, I'm sure. And she says she had an eye appointment last week, you guys. Look at the videos, my healing ones. It's in it's in the airs. Gigi, I did an eye healing. She had an appointment last week. Her eyes are good. I did a great job bringing the healing to her eye. You're so welcome. Yay! I love hearing that. That's why I'm like, when I do those DNA healings, I'm like, go get tested. And not one person has yet. I would love to see the results. I have full confidence in what I do, especially after what we did with Pamela's mom, you guys. She was on her deathbed. They sent her home pretty much to die. She was terminal. They sent her home terminal. And so they called me. I don't know if that one was in the middle of the night or what, but I was like on call for a few days. And we did a few different things. And she has this machine in there. And at one part, the heart doctor was like, see if she can see the machine. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And so I did. And it was like this crazy healing journey with her mom. And I made the machine all shiny and new. And it was like working. It was like tick, tick. And then it's the coolest thing. And now her mom is driving a car. Like she's 20 again, going to her friends. It's the craziest thing. So yay. I love hearing these things, you guys. So the more things we do like this, whenever you have things that come through of, hey, it worked. Hey, I've got proof. Hey, tell me. I love it. I love it. Bring it. It's so awesome. And And let's focus on this freedom. Let's focus on this freedom. Let's focus on being together again. Focus on being with our loved ones, hugging them and kissing them whenever we damn well please. Like if your loved one is really sick and dying, you might just want to choose to give them that damn kiss on their forehead as they go out, regardless of how sick they are. That should be your damn choice. Free will. What do I say about spirit? Spirit can't mess with free will. Spirit can't. You guys, something's going on. I'm just going to be straight up. I don't know. Somebody's account has been hacked, but I wish I could tell you guys everything, and I really can't. It's like I have to be secretive, and I don't know how to express it, but I'm just going to say there's been some red flags that have been risen to me lately with a member of the energy, and I'm a little confused. Okay, so if you guys just see anything, feel anything, just send light that way. That's the best way I could say it. You guys know what I'm talking about? My group. Side note, change of subject. Congrats. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And like, I'm not kidding you. Her mom is elderly. She's like, I think in her 70s, and she was on the hospital bed in her living room. She couldn't make it up her stairs. She now climbs her stairs, goes to bed every night. She was driving her car to her friend. Like, I get these calls, and I'm like, really? Like, it's real. These healings are real. I love hearing about it. And you guys, there's another thing I noticed. Like with my son, my oldest, I was worried about him at one point, but I'm not anymore. He's the coolest kid ever. But he got really sick a couple years ago, right after my awakening, and I did a healing on him, even though he kind of didn't want me to, but I'm his mother. We have that right as a parent. They can receive to a certain level, right? And then the rest is on them. But I've seen him change repeatedly ever since, like just in the things he does and what he eats, the way he thinks. It's the coolest experience. It doesn't even have to be these major or specific. It's just like even running this light through is so healing and rejuvenating and life-changing if you let it be. Yeah, isn't it weird, Amy? I don't know what it is. I don't know. I've told you that. This whole last year, I got treated like shit. I was in that Angel Academy thing. And I had my mass awakening. Like, you couldn't deny it. This lady was like, I'm sick. And all of a sudden, something told me deal with it. And I'm like, whoa, I think I can handle this. Was all live. And I'm like, I think I can handle that. And I'm like, and all I did was follow my intuition. There was nobody telling me how to do this. I had no idea what the hell this is. I'm not kidding. It was live on Facebook and in front of a huge crowd, a few hundred people. No idea. It was right after my awakening, Kundalini awakening. Like something told me to do it. And I just imagined all of a sudden I traveled. I could see myself outside myself. That's how it happens. And I'm energy. I go outside of myself and I'm like, what is this? And everybody's like, that's remote viewing. I'm like, no, I come out of myself. I'm pure energetic form. I can see it. And then all of a sudden it's like a quick travel, right? Like kind of like astral. It's like dark. And then boom, I'm where they are. But sometimes I can see like coming in through an entryway. Sometimes I'm just right there with you. There's no like in between. I'll quickly come out and I'll be there. Other times I don't even have to go there. I just run light from the earth through and I do these things. It's the weirdest experience. And so that happened live. And I'm like, you have this and this. Just all of a sudden, boom, boom, boom. It's your kidney and you've got a slip disc. And it's about right there. And I'm like, what the hell just happened? And this other lady is like, whoa, how long have you been doing this? I'm like, I don't know what's happening to me. And the lady of that academy was rude as shit. I kid you not. She was so mean to me. I feel like I was kicked 10 flights backwards, just right in the gut. It took my breath away and I dropped out that day. I'm like, screw you. That was so rude. I had no idea. I was like, help. What is happening to me? Help. What did I just do? And it was proven the next day. She went to the doctor and was diagnosed with exactly what I said. I kid you not. It's on there for hundreds of people to see. And she treated me like shit. You don't need my help. was like, wait, what? Like, what is going? I felt like I was absolutely insane. I had no idea what was happening to me. But all of a sudden, I was outside myself. I could see through people's bodies. I can see your blood. I can see the tissues. I can see this machine in her heart. Like it was, I don't even know how to describe my experience, you guys. It was the craziest thing. And the whole entire time I've gone through all of these things and they've been proven over and over again. They're on video, they're in my workshops. I was paying her thousands to be my mentor, and they all treated me like shit. Through and through. I've had this channel now for a little over a year. It says longer because I started it for my kids, but I didn't use it and they didn't use it. And then Spirit was like, do this. And so I was just constantly following Spirit. Literally watch the videos from day one. I dare you. If you haven't seen all my videos on my channel, watch them and let me know what to think, because it's going to be like, whoa. And then they're all on video. People have gone to my workshops. And that's a lot of the important stuff. There's more beyond that as well that I've done. Kid you not. I did that whole traveling to the president one time. Like, I kid you not. And I had no idea what I was doing. All of a sudden, I was in meditation. And, like, I've gone to different places. Uruguay, one time I'm like, where am I? And they're like, Uruguay. And I'm raising the vibration, or I'm healing the land, or I'm changing this. What was I talking about? And so one time I went into meditation. There was this urgency that I would feel all the time. Talk about that too. Went in, and I'm in this green lawn. And then all of a sudden I see lit lights, like in the distance, like really pretty lights along the white picket fence. All of a sudden it's starting. This is how it's coming to me. Beautiful, lush green lawn. Then I see lights lining this white picket fence. Then I look up, and it's the freaking White House, and there's the guards. But they look like they're in like they're like almost like khaki pants and like this black jacket with like a white undershirt and like a black tie, and they had like a chicka, and then like this weird thing here, and then they had the ear thingy here, and then they were talking. Okay, and that's what I saw, and I'm like so afraid. All of a sudden, I was like, "Don't see me! Like, don't see, this is what's going through my." And I'm seeing it as I was there. I kid you not, you guys. I was there, and this is about, I don't know, 8 months ago. I don't even know now. I'm like losing track, and I told somebody about it. I'm sure it's in one of my messenger feeds as evidence. I think it was Martina. There was a few people I was talking to about it. Pamela is one of them. She was like immediately contacted her. But then all of a sudden, I was with him, the president. This is what I could see. And I was like there, but I don't know who I was. It didn't feel like I was like the mist. Like, I wish to God I could see what was going on that end, because this is just so weird. And then afterwards, they actually made mention of having intel. It was like the weirdest, craziest thing. And I'm like, did that really happen? It was another one of those moments I'm like, that didn't happen. Even telling you guys now, I'm like, that didn't happen. But it did. There was like confirmation. There was some proof that came through that they had intel that came from not normal sources. And I'm like, the whole while, I'm like, it's genius. Who would have ever thought of me? Do a psych eval. I've told people, put me under, hypnotize me. I've had somebody do it, and I talk about that on one of my videos too. They hypnotized me, and I went straight to God. He freaked out. He went and got rid of all his healing stuff. It was like the crazy. I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, the world is changing. That scared me when he did that. I'm not gonna lie. If he still watches my channel, I don't know. That scared me after the hypnosis. And then you got rid of everything he had. And I didn't know what to think of that. That was part of when I really started learning who I was, So it's crazy. And then all that while, all those people would treat me like crap. That's the real of it. That's the real of it. I don't think that's heaviness. So Amy brought it up about how she talks about me to people, and they look at her and they're like, whatever you say, Amy. And that's the same thing. And so I was trying to tell you. So I don't know if it's really Roger or his account got hacked. I don't know what's going on, but there's some definite energy going on there, and I didn't respond in time. And then I went to today and I had lost a subscriber at the same time. And so I'm like, but it's a different pitch. So I don't know exactly what's going on. I don't know if there's been, so there is some stuff, but it's nothing to do with me. Honestly, I'm good to go. I feel great. I'm really happy. I make good money. Like, I'm okay. I think it's just what's in the air. But Amy had brought that up, so that's why I talked about it. People have been like that. Like, I can't explain it. I can't explain it. But I don't even think people take the time. That's the thing. I don't think they take the time to investigate, to look at everything that I say, to look at my videos. All they had to do is like my page to support me. You know what I mean? Like, it was silliness. And I don't think any of them take the time. And kind of what I've chalked it up to is either you are open to receive what I am or what I have to give, or you're not. Like, either you are able to accept that amount of info and light and knowledge, awakening in yourself, or you're not, right? Because it's a lot to fathom. Watch the moon video. Can you take that in? Like, it's a lot. I still watch it and I'm like, that really happened. That sounds crazy. Right? I'm taking down the moon and satellites, and I'm plucking the field of the GMOs and doing all this kind of stuff. Like, it sounds insane. And so maybe that's what it is. Maybe they just aren't able to take in that sort of light, right? That's the only way I can justify it. I don't know any other way. And then I also hear stories about other master healers, like, no joke. Like, people come to them and it just invokes the darkness out of you and causes you to do things towards them that you might not normally do towards everybody. You ever notice that? Straight up. I don't know if you guys have ever noticed that. Gigi, yeah, sometimes I don't even understand it, to be honest with you. I'm not kidding you. There was another healing that I did when I first woke up. I think it's cool to talk about this stuff. I think it's really cool because I don't think people take the time to understand who I am. They see one video and go, oh, she's nuts, and they leave, yet I have the proof, right? But there was this one guy when I first woke up, and I knew him from high school, and all of a sudden, out of the blue, he pops back into my life right after my awakening, and spirit nudges me to heal his dad, right? So all of a sudden, he's like, oh, my dad's really sick, and he's like, do you think you could do this? And I'm like, sure, let's give it a go. I have no idea who I am, right? You're right. Everybody can't handle who I am. They just can't. They can't. Their brain explodes and they crap their pants and they run. I'm just kidding. Maybe a little. But anywho, so like, I'm like, okay, let's figure out what I can do. And so again, I sit down and somebody else is like, why aren't you writing these down? So I have a journal of all these. I even healed my dog. I talked about that one on Facebook. Like, no joke. It was crazy. And I miss him. But this guy, his dad, had Parkinson's. And I didn't really know that when I first went into the healing. I'm not somebody who's like, okay, what's going on? How are you feeling? What do I need to do for you? I don't do that. I don't. Anybody who's worked with me can vouch. The only thing I do is really basically barely say much. I just start going. This is what you need. This is what we're doing. I've learned to slow down a little and be like, so by the way, I'm a master healer. I do a little different and I don't need to talk. Here we go. So that's kind of what I did. And I did it on my own time. So I don't even have to be with you. So I did it on my own time. I had his permission. I traveled to him this time. I saw him in the hospital. He was in his little pajama type things. He had a severe case of Parkinson's. He was not doing well. I didn't know it was Parkinson's still. I ran the light and I did my thing. And I make it all the way up to his headspace. And all of a sudden I got what it was and what was causing it. But at that time I went into, like, I have their symptoms. It was like I started to have his symptoms. There was another one like that too. She was in full-blown seizure. I was like, my neck went out for a whole day. So when it first happened, I would even take on their symptoms. It was the craziest experience ever. It's crazy. I never get to come on these and talk much. You guys, everybody's always just like, heal me, give messages. And I'm like, I do probably sound a little bit like a crazy person because nobody knows the backstory. Watch the videos. Like, I think it needs to be said a little bit more. Like, I went through these crazy things. Look at the world around us. Let's just stop focusing on these things. Let's focus on the world we want to create. Let's focus on the happiness. But these are in the air. These are in the air. It's not just for me. I really do feel like there's pressure on dividing more of the familial structure, more of the unity of the whole. And it bothers me, right? If I am who I say I am, I have to be sensitive to that in an extreme way, which is why I struggle in relationships. I am a sensitive, but that's what makes me me. But this is what's going on in the collective. It absolutely is. It sucks ass. Just sucks ass. Thank you, Jacinth. I don't usually, do I? I usually just go. Oh my gosh. You guys, I kid you not. Do you remember that video I posted a year ago where it says as above, so below? I was talking about the tree of life in that one, and it had the picture of the as above, so below. The one above, the one below, and I think it had a heart in it. Do you remember that? Look at that. That just made me think of that. Life purpose, right? Life purpose. Yeah, and I like talking about it because the more I talk about it, maybe the more people will actually listen to who I am. I don't know. I question spirit. I'm like, why did you have me do all this? And people just don't fathom. They don't even watch everything. They aren't taking it in. They don't want it. It's hard. And what I see is the more people wake up, they show me. It's going to be like a light switch of where they're going to know who I am. And I'm like, really? So all of a sudden people are just going to be like, Juniper Bloom Mystique did this. Like, it's weird. I don't know how it's all going to work out. And maybe not. One person told me it won't be until I'm dead. Then everybody will know who I am and who I was. Kind of like a Jesus story. Everybody tortured him, treated him like shit, and then after the fact, they're like, oh, man. Right? Oh, my gosh. I just shuffled and I went right back to life purpose. That was intense. Shut up. I'm going to die before the recognition. I'm going to paint that different. Those painted different. I'm going to rewrite my Akashic records. But Jacinth, on Sunday, I am going to do a nice peaceful healing. I can start to tie in the energy tonight and just allow kind of like a energetic dumping to occur into the earth. So let's just, kind of open up the energy, start the energetic flow from the core into each of you and into anybody who's going to come Sunday that doesn't leave my channel between now and then. Sorry, that's just me being not of the highest light. Little butt hurt. But we just start kind of just, now I'm dumping that into the earth now, aren't I? We're dumping it out into the earth to be transmuted. Kind of funny, though, how one of them went right along with him trying to get me to talk, and I said I was busy, and then it like shut down, and I couldn't message back, and then I lost a subscriber. You guys, there's something going on that's weird. I don't know what it is, and unfortunately, it's with somebody we know. But anyways, let's just dump all that into the earth. We'll open it up. Oh, look at that. Oh, Jiminy Christmas. So we'll start opening up the energy. Creating like a little bit of, so what they're showing me is like a little bit of an energetic vortex, okay? And the way I'm seeing it, it's almost like a movie scene from some movie where the floor kind of drops out from underneath our feet. And it starts like kind of just like a energy vortex kind of sucking away any, like I see debris kind of floating around, and it's just like no bottom underneath your feet. You can kind of see deep down into the earth. Okay, and this is what I'm seeing. This kind of probably relates to what we're going to do Sunday a little bit. And so what that is it's kind of drawing out the negative. It's drawing out the low vibrations. It's drawing out the third dimensional constructs that need to go to be released right now at this time, is what Spirit's also telling me. Different pieces of, so we're peeling back different pieces of the onion, different layers. Onions have layers. We all have layers. Right there I go to check. we're delayering another layer of the third dimensional construct, and it's going down into the earth like that vortex. It's just helping pull it. You don't have to do anything. It's just really literally drawing it into the black hole. Ooh. That's interesting. It's like this big tornado in the center. It's just pulling it down in. And as that's happening, it's separate from being grounded. So I could see you becoming grounded already as we're going to. And that's separate. It's like we're over here. We can ground calmly. But in reality, the bottom fell out and it's like this energetic vortex. But we're safe. And it's just pulling it all through. And we're just going to leave it that way for the next 2 days into the chakra clearing. I am hearing trust. Somebody again needs to think about trust, who they're not trusting. There's a little bit of not trust within self. I feel like this stems from maybe some decisions that didn't. It's like we go again with the expectation, right? Like if I do this, it should end up this way. And even though it didn't quite end up this way, doesn't mean it ended up the wrong way. Okay. And so it's like we don't trust our own decision now because we think we made a wrong decision, but we really didn't make the wrong decision. It went the way I was supposed to go. You went the way you were supposed to go. It just, our expectation was different from the outcome. And that's okay. These are all parts of what we need. It's like a piece of the tool bag. And so they want you to regain that trust within yourself. Remember, everything we go through is purposeful so that we can help others along the way. So if you're ever wondering, what is my purpose? What is my purpose? Take a note and think about major things you've gone through. Think about social situations, social interactions or lack thereof, things of significance. Did you grow up in poverty? Did you grow up in richness? Did you go up? Do you know what I'm saying? I know he was on here tonight, Amy. And if you notice, I was afraid to say anything to him because I'm not quite sure what's going on there. Something doesn't. Probably Angela. So, that's a big one though. Okay. So somebody's got some trust in themselves and it was a false doubt. Okay. So it's super important to look at the word trust. Where am I lacking? Okay. And it's layered, again, layers. And so Angela, they're actually saying it's different for everybody. So some people have contracts. Some are definitely, it's a big chunk of dark night of the soul, right? Darkness rising everywhere. And so with that can be soul contracts, can be all these layers upon things, but I feel like everybody has something coming up in some way, shape, or form. Okay. And so again, I'm seeing that vortex. So just know if you're open to receiving, that if you're taking part of this, this is happening just for you. And I keep getting drawn to something here, but I can't tell if it's mine or somebody else's. Then I'm hearing combination. And that also goes with truth, doesn't it? So truth really does deal with your throat chakra. So we're going to do the whole chakra clearing. Okay. And so we're just opening up the flow already, starting to remove any debris. And we'll leave it there for today. And then so I'm getting a message. Okay. I'm not quite sure who it's for. And it was quite an interesting one. It's almost like I just started like watching a TV screen and I'm almost like, what is this? Like a soap opera? I see a lady and a gentleman, but I see like this girl is like looking at the book. I have to give it as I'm giving it. Okay. So I see a female and a male. mid to late 20s. I don't know who this is going to resonate with, so pay attention if this does resonate with you. This is a message. Has to do with female standing here looking in the book, almost like I'm waiting for answers. I'm looking for answers. And the gentleman is over here, and he almost looks like detached from her reality, but they're together. Okay. And then she turns the page. That's the answer. Turn the page. It's time to move on. Okay. So if that resonates for you, that's for you. It's time to move on. You got to turn the page. But then again, they're showing me down here at the bottom. It's like rewrite your own story. Like you have that power. What do you want to create? Okay. But they always want us to create our highest timeline. All right. So take it for what it's worth. If that resonates with you, I would recommend, Spirit has a funny way of, if we're not listening, it's that tower moment. Okay. So for whatever reason, it's part of the message. We can think we know better. We can think, but if I do it this way, it'll be okay. What about free will? There's a certain point to free will. Like if we are in a simulation, we have our higher selves. If we have a higher purpose, and we can get in our own way. Do you understand what I'm saying? So whoever that's for, take note of that. Okay. And then I don't know who else this is for, but something with surrendering to the flow. I feel like we're hitting a plateau. I'm hitting a wall. I'm trying to surrender. I feel like I'm surrendering. I'm sitting here going, I intend to surrender. Okay, that's what I feel like is happening for you. You're like so beyond frustrated. I'm grounding. I'm surrendering. What am I missing? And then you're like, this is stupid. Like you start questioning the whole damn process. And what they're saying is, this is what they want you to do. Okay? When you hit those moments, you need to drop in. It's because you're up here and you're not in here. Okay? Drop everything. Just drop everything. Start breathing. As you're doing that, focus on the light center. Imagine this little Sandalphon gave me this trick the very first time when I was having my awakening and I was struggling to give up old parts of myself. Okay, so take that. And he would appear as a seraphim angel. So it has seraphim energy, Sandalphon. Imagine that little flame at the center of your heart, okay? And this is what you've got to do. This is it. Let everything else go. Stop the expectation. Where is this going to take me? What's going to come? I don't give a damn. It's not about that, right? Because we do that. Breathe. Go to that little spot in your heart. And as you're doing that, whatever thoughts pop up in that moment, this is silly. I can't do it. It's not working. What if I fail? Am I doing it right? Is this a message? Is this my thoughts? All of them. Put them in a damn bubble. Go back to that flame. Imagine drawing these up. Just imagine it. Drawing them out of your system. Putting all those words. They're separate. Just like Wayne Dyer says, right? Just see the word. Imagine the word. If you can't see it, it don't matter. Stop it. Let it go. Put it in a bubble and send that shit away. Then go back to the spot in the heart. And if you don't get it right the first time, do it again. And do it again. And do it again. Okay? See? Yeah. So there's your tool. Okay? But you've got to, and again, I feel like every time you go there, this is trying to say, like, this is stupid. Like, are you sure you want to do this? Like, you've already done it and it's not getting anywhere. What's the purpose? What is my purpose? I'm not like, I can hear them. And so just pick them up and put them in the damn bubble and send them away. And then go to that flicker. And the longer you stay in the flicker, in the heart space, it'll get easier and easier. And then the next thing you know, you won't have to put thoughts in a bubble because you've already trained your mind to shut up. Right? Like our brain does what it's supposed to do. Good. I'm glad it helps. Okay. It should be helpful for everybody. These are things I had to teach myself. I didn't meditate. I had an awakening. I was not a spiritual warrior until trauma happened. I went and did all the things that I was supposed to do, right? But I didn't know what was happening, and so on and so forth. And these are not things that are just easy either, right? They take time. They take time. And when it drives me nuts when I hear people talk, master so and so, master. What the hell did you master? I'm supposed to be a master healer. I don't even like that term, but it just means that I can do it all. I truly can. We're discovering this, including move a planet and change the blah, 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 whatever. But I still don't like the term master for myself because I'm always learning. Okay, so we got to remember to remain that open vessel. We're always learning. And then we always have something to give. Cancel, delete, erase it. I love that one too. So damn irritable. See, Angela, there was a lot talk. I even cried on this video. I'm telling you guys, these are not just me being like all in a weird mood. It's really in the air. Times are heavy. There's things going on. And I said that Monday too. I'm like, we're in the dark night of the soul. That's coming. That was another one of my things. It's all over. Pay attention. But it's part of a more of awakening. So when you truly go through an individual awakening, you have dark night of the soul moments, okay? And as a collective, we're going through a pretty damn big one. Yeah, we are. So just hang on. All right. So Angela, I'm going to do the chakra clearing on Sunday. I'll do some more healing, whatever comes through for those you guys. So if you're open to receiving, I suggest you come. The reason I had said one time is if you come, you're likely to get things because you're there. I can get it when you're not, but it's just so much more when you're there with me. I can go deeper. I can really change things even more. It's just so much different. And so that's why I said that, but everybody's open to receive. I'm so glad that made sense and resonated. And now you have a good tool, and that tool can be utilized by everything. Again, when I first started having to meditate and let go of old aspects of self, Sandalphon literally came into my space and gave me some of these tools and different things, and they're real. You just got to use them. And it's like if you use them once and they don't work, what are you, two? I'm just in it. But seriously, it's like you've got to do things. How many times do you have to do them before they become a habit? How many times do you have to do them before they come easy? It is like that. Meditating is very much so like that. Controlling our mind space can be very, very difficult if we have our minds are very, very powerful. They're a good tool, but they can be a great enemy as well. Oh, Amy, that's so nice to hear. I needed to hear that, especially with people unfollowing my channel and I don't know who. She says she'll be there. She's honestly learned so much by these videos. That's what if you watch them, I do give a lot. I try to. It's just all if you're open to pick up. Aw. Okay, Amy. Maybe put like a headbutt in, and as long as your energy's there, I'll definitely hit it hard, so to speak. So yeah, you guys, it is sensitive, and it's worse, and it's getting worse, and it's getting worse now because they're like, oh, now if you're not vaccinated, you're shameful. We're going to shun you. We're going to cover your face because you're the ones who's going to make us all sick, even though all these other people are fluffing it off, whatever. What is it? It's a chip. What is it? Do you even know what it is? Let's be real. What is it? What are we talking about here? Right? There's a lot going on. It's yucky. I say all light workers should just shut up about it. Let's just paint the sky blue. Although I like the change in weather, I don't know about you all, but I don't think we should be in a drought. I'm kind of looking back, thinking about all of the Truman Show stuff and all the times they're like, we're going into a global warming. Like, how much of that is planned? They tell you they control your weather. Look it up. That's nothing new. I didn't just say that from a psychic perspective. That's been shown, let alone what I've seen. Very much so a reality of your world. And now that we're eliminating that, what is our weather really like? Like, are we going to be able to have lush skies and lots of greenery now because we have a regular pattern of moisture? And it's kind of cool to think about. So I'm really excited about that, right? So these change in weather patterns are a little okay with me. Let's just imagine the earth calming down. Why not? If a whole bunch of us can imagine these bad things happening and make them work, let's spread the love. Let's spread the good shit. Everybody gets a whole nother handful of the money that was theirs that was already taken from them. Where do you think this money's coming from? It was already your money, right? Like, really think about it. And then you're going to have to pay taxes on it again? I don't think so, but that's what they're saying. So kind of cool. It's kind of really cool. So let's just start painting the newness, creating a reality. Stop focusing on these things. Let's focus on the earth being calm. The volcano's calming down. Why not? I did it before with a fire. I imagined the fire coming in on itself, and it literally went out all of a sudden. So let's do this. Let's calm the earth. Let's everybody collectively just start thinking about the pretty and the oneness and the newness and the no masks and the no more lying, and all of those that have gotten vaccinated, let me get an amen, get to be healed. Positive and beautiful thoughts, right? That's all it is. And then Sunday, what I do want you guys to do is if you actually did watch this video, especially through to the end, and you want to come on Sunday, Spirit's got a little homework for you. So it's kind of like a shadow work release, okay? There might be things coming up for you. I'm very much so thinking that. So whatever it is that's coming up for you, whatever it is, I don't care if you understand it or not. I feel jittery today. What is this? My stomach hurts today. What is this? All of a sudden, excuse me, I don't know if that's releasing or just me being yucky. Either way, excuse me. All of a sudden you have thoughts of a past relationship, anything like that that is coming to the surface for you. Allow it to really surface. Okay, so start bringing it to the forefront, write it down, allow it to come out and play, because we'll get rid of that shit. Okay, that's what it's for. That's why it's happening, so that we can eliminate it on Sunday. So just know it's going to be purposeful. Even if it's stuff you don't want to feel, even if it's stuff you haven't thought about in years, some of it might be big, some of it might be small. We got it. Okay? And I'm hearing, what if it's medical? I don't care what it is. If you want it dealt with, what do we do, right? I have no limits, you guys. So whenever I think I do, I'm shown otherwise, okay? And so don't show limits for yourself. Whatever it is, bring it to the forefront, okay? And we will see what comes about. And I think it'll be really cool. And then if we actually hit on it, it'd be really cool to go, look at that. All right. I love these things of hearing about them. I wish, like I said, I wish I could get more results of things. I've done DNA repairs, and I'm like, go get tested. Like, it might be hard to do. I don't know, but I want to see proof, right? I know I fixed you. Let's go see. Why wouldn't you want to? It's cool as shit. It really is. After what I saw with Pamela's mom too, I'm beginning to really not doubt this at all. Like, let's do this. It's so cool what she's been through. To go from terminal to, I mean, but then she got her vaccine too. So we're both like, but she grew up in the medical field, and then they sent her home to die. And then I faced crazy story, crazy story, but it's so cool, right? So let's do that. I want to hear cool stories. Let me know about new creations you come up with. Once we start doing this, let me know what becomes in your reality, right? Let's see what happens. Let's keep spreading that, right? That's a new way to manifest. Let's just do that. I love it. So much love to all of you. I will see you Sunday. I think I have it at 1. I'm starting to get tired if you can't tell. It's been almost 12-hour day already for me now. And there's a lot coming up. So hopefully this did help somebody somewhere. You're so welcome. Thank you all. And I will see you guys Sunday. So much love. Hasta la vista, baby. Bye.